Hi everyone, I'm Ashmita Chitlangya.
And I am Pushpam from the Lancaster University.
And you are listening to the MBA Lancaster Highlights podcast.
In this series, we are going to talk to students about their experiences on the Lancaster MBA course.
Keep listening and stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of the MBA Lancaster Highlights podcast. We're so excited to be doing this series and we're starting with Shreya and Amok today. So we're really excited. So guys, why don't you first of all introduce yourselves quickly so that the audience knows who you are.
Thank you for having us. My name is Amok and I'm from Bangalore and I have about 8-9 years of work experience in the financial services industry. And I've been doing my MBA for the past 1 year at Lancaster University. And I would like to start off by saying that it's been an amazing experience.
Thank you. What about you, Shreya?
Hi Ashmita, thank you for having me here. I have been a fashion designer for 7 years before coming here. And I had a blast in the whole MBA year. It's coming to an end. Little bit sad, little bit happy. Nice journey.
I'm sure. Thank you so much for that introduction, guys. So today's topic is the Lake District. But before we go on to the Lake District, we're going to first talk about the first week of the MBA, right? So get ready because you really have to jog your memories now and think about everything that we did in the very beginning. So Amok, why don't you start by telling us, do you remember we went to the castle in the very beginning, the first week? What was our experience of going to the Lancaster Castle? What did we do there? What happened?
So the Lancaster Castle was sort of the typical thing of the UK. It's UK is known for its castles that's there, and it has a very rich history. It's atop a mountain, so it's quite very scenic. Once we went in, we had a tour of the castle, and we got to know about the history, how important Lancaster was, how it separated the north from the south, and it was, I think, a good start to our MBA journey.
Right. Do you remember we had our first session there as well?
Yes.
In one of those rooms. What was that like?
Yes. It was quite interesting to, have a class in a castle. I mean, who thinks like that?
Yeah.
But it was amazing. And that is basically where we started to kind of discover ourselves, you can say. We started to think who we are, what are our strengths, what are our fears, and we also started to learn about each other.
I remember, that experience was really different to just sit there in a class. I remember, speaking to other people and telling them that we had a class in the castle, and they're like, "Oh, that's so bizarre! Like, how can you have a class in the castle?" So that was amazing. Moving, to the first week, we also went to the Lake District, which was amazing, right? So tell us a little bit about the Lake District. What did we do in the Lake District? Why did we go there?
In a nutshell, it was basically a trip that we took to basically understand where we stand, where in our lives at that point in time. Look back and see what we've achieved, what achievements we have, what failures we've had, how we came about to where we are on that day, and also to figure out what we want to do going forward, how we want to use the MBA to make ourselves a more well-rounded personality, and it encompassed various activities that helped us do that. One is to understand each other. We had a couple of activities where it was you need to you're meeting people pretty much you don't know them very well.
Correct.
You're meeting them, you've just known them for a week, and you have to suddenly you have 15 minutes to come up with the solution for a puzzle that's given to you, and it's a teamwork thing. There are a couple of puzzles that we had to do, and after that we went on a fairly long walk where we were given certain deep thought-provoking questions to ask ourselves and then note it down. It was completely anonymous in the sense that we didn't have to share it with anyone, and that really got us thinking.
That's so true. That experience was...
that was amazing, and especially to sit in the place where William Wordsworth sat and wrote those amazing poems. You're sitting over there, and it makes you think what you really want to do, where you're coming from, and how can you take things forward.
Right.
It was an amazing feeling. It's so scenic, so natural. It just calms you down and makes your thought process much clearer.
Yeah, calms you down and sort of really preps you for the next part, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the team building. You roughly touched upon it. Why don't you tell us how was your experience with the whole team building? What did you learn?
Yeah, that was quite interesting. So we were divided into our small groups, tutorial groups, that is kind of our family for the whole MBA year, where we share our journey together, our struggles, and we help each other grow in whichever aspect we need to grow. So it's kind of our support system.
Yeah.
But building that support system with completely unknown people takes time, and probably that activity was made the groundwork for that. So it was a trust building exercise, where all our eyes were closed, and then suddenly you just have to trust each other to complete that task. And if you don't trust what the other person is saying, you can't really figure out the final result. So it was quite interesting, and it builds that kind of an understanding among each other, that I can actually trust the other person when I struggle, and they will take me through, support me through whatever is coming ahead.
One of the things that I sort of took away from that was, although I'm competitive and I want to win and I want to solve the puzzle, I learned that it was okay to fail. Right?
Yeah.
So you are in an environment where you are allowed to try things, you're allowed to give your best. There we gave our best, we tried our best, but we failed. We didn't get the puzzle. And we saw other teams maybe getting the puzzle, and we said, okay, we can also do this, and eventually we did get it because we kept trying and trying and trying. So I think that was one of the takeaways that I got from the
and that's such a valid point, because we learned it there and we saw it happen throughout, right? We won some, we lost some, but then we knew how to deal with it because we were preparing from the very beginning, which was great. What about leadership? How does reflection help with leadership? What's your take on that?
Reflecting helped me understand what kind of a leader I am, as well as what kind of a leader I should be. And it also told me what a responsible leader is. It's not just about you. It's not just about, let's say, your organization or the people who work with you. It's also about the general, the environment as well that you are responsible for. I think that really sort of opened up a bit more about what leadership really is.
True, that's so true. What about you, Shreya?
Yeah, absolutely. There has been certain thoughts in my mind beforehand that, okay, probably I should be doing this, I should not be doing that, etc. But once you reflect on a more routine basis, because you have to write the assignment, but still it just makes the thought concrete in your head. And it by the end of our course, it has become like these 5-6 concrete principles that, obviously, because I thought of it before the assignment, but still it just makes everything so clear. So going ahead, if I face any difficulty, any sort of a situation where I don't know what to do and how should I behave, I have my principles in place to give me a direction that, okay, this is something that doesn't go with your vision, and this is something that does. So having that clarity is very important, and reflection is the only thing that has actually provided this kind of a clarity for us.
Yeah, totally agree with the two of you, especially because I think when we did that whole last assignment where we had to write down our principles, I think that's what we'll keep going back to, right? When we get lost, I think that's going to be like our Bible. Okay, so let's move to a little bit more fun side, right? So we went to Lake District and we went to Windermere, which was one of the 16 lakes. But did you guys get a chance to, explore the other lakes in Lake District?
Yes, so I actually, when my family came down, I went to Lake District with them. I showed them around. So I went to a place called Canforth, and it was again a beautiful place. Tall trees, we went in the month of April, so it was like spring. There was a nice, beautiful lake. There were barbecues happening here and there. And, it was a very fun time that we had there. And then even recently, we went for another trip with our cohort. We went for a nice 5-mile walk, which was up a mountain, and then went to a village in Lake District, had lunch in a pub. So it was like a complete day trip that we had at Lake District, which we enjoyed thoroughly.
What about you? Have you been to any of the other lakes?
The same one that Amok just mentioned, Ulswater, the last trip. But apart from that, we also went to the other side of Windermere Lake, which is called Hawkshade. It's quite a historic little town, which gives you a very nice vibe. You can just sit in a cafe, sip some coffee, relax, and have wonderful view. So it was a really interesting experience. We stayed over a night in a hostel. And it was amazing. It was such a relaxing and fun trip.
So, on that note, I would like to end this episode, and I definitely want to tell you guys that when you come to Lancaster, make sure that you go around, explore, and you will need those breaks, okay? We're being honest, you will need those breaks, so don't shy away. Just take your bag, go have a good time, and come back. And I just want to, thank you both for coming, taking out the time. I think the Lake District really holds a special place in all of our hearts. So, thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience. And this is our first episode. So, guys, stay tuned and make sure to watch the next episode.